Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed.
Did you ever wonder if your birth date holds information about your destiny? Why you keep seeing the same number or several numbers? Welcome to Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated. I am your host, King Simon. Numbers are not here to control you, they're here to give you guidance. It's time for you to be able to read the numbers.
Hi, I'm Lloyd Strayhorn, inviting you to heal with the numbers and cards in person at the Circle of Cosmic Consciousness Retreat in New Orleans. Go to stshealing.com to learn from the Masters, Aquarius Maximus, King Simon, Nina Diamond, Jazz Aphrodite, and myself. Don't forget, New Orleans, August 17th through the 20th at the Cosmic Consciousness Retreat. Register now at stshealing.com. That's stshealing.com. See you there.
On Saturday, September 23rd from 2 to 8 p.m. at the Alkaline Oasis in Brooklyn, Baba Ashra Kwesi and Mira Kwesi returns to Brooklyn, New York after 4 years. Get your early bird tickets right now by texting 347-496-1022. Remember, they'll be teaching about the ancient history of Africa, Kemet, and also they're going to touch on Cleopatra. So get your tickets, 347-496-1022. It's the Numerological session with King Simon. Text your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And get my books on Amazon now. Some people think that this esoteric knowledge is for the rich and the powerful. When in actuality, the so-called 85% has a spark in them that if it is sparked through numerology, astrology, motivation, whatever, it will raise them up from an 85%, maybe to a 10%, and eventually they become the 5%, the poor or prosperous righteous teachers. You gotta understand that this knowledge is not just for one class of people. We gotta get out of the class. Okay. Here he comes to save the day. The underdog is on its way. What's up, family? How y'all doing? What up, though? How y'all doing, man? I'm good. Man, so much going on, man. Again, people are just passing on and transitioning to other realms. But I wanted to come on here briefly and talk about what Aquarius Maximus said something last night on Brother Rich's show, which was very interesting. And she spoke about the underdog. And before I go into that, the word underdog adds up to 43 in the Pythagorean system, adds up to 43, right? 43, which is a 7. And in the Chaldean system, the word underdog adds up to a number 36 in the Chaldean system.
Both systems I use, multiple systems I use, because it gives us a full picture of where we need to go with the interpretation, the projection, and the trajectory of a word, a name, a birthday, such and such and such and such is going on, moving forward. But, some people would say, that an underdog is not a good thing. But no, the underdog is, from my perspective, the underdog is those people that are unassuming and unexpected to rise to the top and to accomplish higher levels. It's like the underdog is usually the intern. I used to be an underdog in the club industry as far as being an intern to a major venue that, if you go through New York, especially in the 90s, early 2000s, even to now, SOBs, I was an intern. And then from the internship, I rose to producer and promoter because I started on the ground level. And usually the people that are considered the underdogs in life, those are the ones that start on the ground level of life, the ground level. And those are the ones that are usually, like I just said, unassuming, very unassuming people that came here to do some fabulous work. If looking at the number 43 and the 7, if they're disciplined, if they're willing to expand beyond where they are, and if they're willing to spiritually understand their law of attraction, because that's the 4, 3, and the 7 energy that we're looking at that time. And the underdog is usually the secret, that the secret weapon, that if that underdog awakens to their power, and many of us have been considered the underdog, the one that they would say least likely to, or we've held back our power. But also because in the Chaldean, because it adds up to a 36, which is a 9, 9 is the highest level of that the underdog has to take to accomplish the goal and also finish what they start. See it to completion. Please share this video. Share this video. Remember, tonight we'll be on with Lloyd Strayhorn on his channel, Numbers and You. Tonight, all of us will be on Lloyd Strayhorn's show. Myself, Aquarius Maximus, Nina Diamond, Jackie Levine, and of course, Lloyd Strayhorn will be on Lloyd's show tonight, getting ready. And guess what? The retreat, 2 days of the retreat, the 2 presentation days will be live stream, but you have to go to stshealing.com. That's stshealing.com. It's on my IG. So don't ever consider, just because you're an underdog and you feel like you're an underdog in any way, if you Google up the word underdog, you'll find a few meanings of that word underdog. And it's all right to acknowledge that you're an underdog, because the underdog is the shadow side of who you are, because that's under in the dog star, the dog energy, which we know in Kemet, the dog of transformation, and the dog that you have to go through when you go to the other side is Anubis. So being the underworld dog is just letting you know that you are in your shadow work. There's a lot of shadow work that you need to do. There's a lot of work that you have to work on in that spiritual realm. And the shadow work, people like to call it the shadow. Some people want to stay in the shadows. No, you don't have to stay in the shadow. But sometimes you have to go inward. That's where the 7 comes in. Because 7 and 9, now think about it. The Pythagorean system, it adds up to a complete 7. And the Chaldean system adds up to a complete 9. In numerology, the 7 and 9 are challenges to one another. So it's either going to challenge you to be your best or challenge you to be your worst. So 7 is a deeply spiritual, intuitive, analytical number. So being an underdog is allowing you to really analyze yourself. To internally analyze who you are is what the underdog is supposed to do, and not overthink it. Because sometimes the people that are connected to the 7 or the 7 energy words are those that overthink their powers, when the 9 in the Chaldean system is reminding you to be assertive with your power, but make sure you think on the highest level and the highest value of your power. That's what the underdog is. So from the underdog, you then become the overlord. So the underdog, you start to rise to the overlord. Those are words, and I'm going to break down the overlord one day. I want to break down. I just want to stay on the underdog, because there's many of us that has accepted. I say, yeah, see what that's definitely a lot of analyzing due to a lot of struggle and failure. And although you go through struggle, remember that don't kill you only makes you stronger. That don't kill you makes you stronger. And if you don't learn to create the lessons and turn those lessons into greater blessings for yourself, being or staying in the underdog vibration, once you understand the underdog vibration and how to use the underdog vibration, then the 9 of the Chaldean mystical system of numerology can now do its work. The 36 can do its work. The 43 can do its work, because 4, 3, and 7, and 3, 6, and 9 are doing its work behind the scenes, whether positive or negative. But it's up to you. I already shouted out Clemson Brown yesterday, but yes, I already shouted out my dear brother Clemson Brown. That's my brother. You know, I shouted him out yesterday. I posted it on my IG. And Clemson Brown, transitioned in his critical cycle before his birthday. His birthday, and I know his birthday, August the 25th. I know my brother's birthday. And the critical cycle is very something to clear up. People got to really, when you're younger, you pay attention to the critical cycle when you get into arguments or dealing with police and all that kind of stuff, or getting sick. When you're older, usually critical cycles is when people transition. And Clemson Brown was in his critical cycle. The Grandmaster Dinkin was in a health cycle, different, but it can be critical. So back to the underdog. Some of us accept the underdog life and sometimes never get to graduate to the dog star life. Some people stay in the underdog instead of graduating to the dog star, because the dog star is one of the constellations. The dog star is one of the things that we know of, that people like A.A. Rashid have talked about. People like, Blue Pill or Red Pill is talking about that dog star power. But that is a constellation in the universe. So if you're not working on your underdog in the silence of your meditation, and in the need to find what the 7 also dictates, that the 7 is reminding you that it is a law of attraction number. Thank you very much for buying the badges. It's very supportive. Badges are very supportive. Also, Cash App, PayPal. You can go to my link tree for that. Thank you, Beverly. But just remember, in order for you to graduate from the underdog to the dog star, or to the overlord, let's say the dog star, like people like DMX was a dog star energy. People like Snoop Dogg is a dog star energy. Interesting enough, DMX is born December 18th. Snoop Dogg is born October 20th. Now, 2 different symbols, both representing intuition and certain intuitive powers. 18 representing the moon in tarot from its own perspective, which deals with intuition and intuitive, deep, darker energy. The 20 representing awakening, that 2 people that represented the dog, that are connected to the dog star energy, like Snoop Dogg and the one, the only DMX. Where my dogs at? Where my dogs at? That whole, and the Snoop Doggy Dogg, the whole thing that he did throughout his career. So even that verses was very important to understand the dog star early, the energy. But at one point of time, both of them had an underdog energy also, whether they was into criminal activity and all that kind of stuff in the darker world, in the shadow worlds. Because when you're dealing with club life or drug life or criminal activities, that is the underdog also, because you're letting the dog star energy do its thing in that realm. And it's not like they wasn't successful, because they were successful in doing what they did in that realm. But when they started doing more music and started putting that energy out, that's when they became the dog star. I hope y'all understand. From underdog to the dog star, all of us have it in us to become the dog star that will finally, and remember the word dog backwards is God. So when you start showing your dog star status, that's when you become a God star. Because we are all gods having a human experience. We are all gods having a human experience. It's just that many of us have forgotten that we are gods, having a experience called Simon, an experience called whatever your name is on this IG post or this YouTube post that I'm going to post up. So it's important that we understand, although it's right, God and dog is the same word, just like angel and angle, same word, Santa and Satan. There's always a duality. And once you understand the duality of who and what you are supposed to evolve into, because just that name alone, evolve, shift, and grow, that is what the underdog has to do to become the dog star. That is what the underdog has to do to become the dog star. Remember, I'm going to go back to another celebrity. Prince was once the underdog. And then guess what? He opens up for Rick James, who was already a dog, straight up. Dog star himself, Rick James. But Prince was once an underdog. And usually every artist that you've ever seen out there had a beginning, had doubts about who they were and what they was doing and how they wanted to accomplish it. Everything started developing to their dog star level. And they moved themselves from being an underdog and then became the dog star. So again, going back to the point, the rise of the underdog, is it coincidence that the word underdog adds up to the number 7 in the Pythagorean system? And yet, this is the number 7 year. So between 8, the 8th year next year, and between the 2025, which is going to be a 9 year, look out for the dog. Look out for the underdogs to rise. Look out for the underdogs to rise from your family. Look out for the underdogs to rise in business. Look out for the underdogs for these next couple of years. I'm showing you a projection here. 7, 8, 9. Next couple, because in the 8-year cycle, because we're in a 7-year cycle, in the 8-year cycle, it's going to require all underdogs to be disciplined, maintain some form of order, and maintain some infinite understanding of who they're connected to and what they're connected to in order for that 9 energy to kick in and become strong in the 2025 energy. So these years are going to be pivotal years for people connected to the 7. This year was very pivotal for people connected to the 7, people connected to the 8 next year, and then people connected to the 9 in 2025. Pivotal year for the underdog. Those that are underdog or feel that they haven't revealed themselves and always let people go before them and show themselves without showing that they was deserving of it, because the underdog is the ones that feel that they're not deserving. And if you don't feel that you're deserving, then you will remain an underdog instead of becoming a dog star and be seen by the world, or be seen by your family, or be seen by your local community. Become the dog star. And maybe tomorrow I'll break down the dog star. I feel like doing that too. I'll break down the dog star for y'all tomorrow, because when I look at the dog star, you know what I'm saying? When you look at words like that, matter of fact, let me look at the numbers right now. I'm looking at real time right now. I'm looking at it real time, because I'm doing it right here in front of you, because this is what I do. This is what I do. Okay, when we look at the dog star, that's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Woo! Dog star is a healer, baby. Dog star adds up to 24. That's a healer. Let's deal with that's in the Chaldean system. In the Pythagorean system, the word dog star adds up to, let me see, that's 10, 10, 20, 26, what, no, 10, 20, 30, 31. All right, so good. Great. So in order for you to be that dog star, which is powerful, real time, add it up real time. And I even draw the dog. I used to doodle back in the day. Real time, dog star, done in real time. So in the Pythagorean system, the dog star adds up to a number 31, which is a 4, which means it's going to take a lot of creative activity for you to become that dog star. And again, because 31 adds up to the 4, the discipline that's going to be needed. It requires discipline, order, structure, and clear communication with your inner self and your physical self, bringing balance, because 4 is one of the even numbers that deal with balance, structure, and the need to build. Pythagorean. The dog star adds up to a number 24 in the Chaldean system, which is a 6, all healing numbers, 2, 4, 6, 8, all of them are healing numbers. The dog star is also a healing energy. The dog star is also a energy of balance, and it's a number of forgiveness. So in order for you to become the dog star, you got to learn how to also forgive because in your underdog times, and your underdog realm, you go through a lot. You go through a lot of traumas and dramas and family this and family that during the underdog. And that's why some people have been suppressed. That's why many of us have been suppressed in the underdog. And that's what kept us in the underdog instead of us becoming the dog star, which deals with the 6 energy of balance, harmony, healing, forgiveness. And then the 4 energy of communication, hard work, discipline, organization, and dotting all I's and crossing every T in order for you to become the dog star. So I hope people get what I'm saying from my humble but yet profound perspective, because this is just coming through me right now. I didn't write it in my book yet. I haven't done all of that yet, but I drew this today. And I was re-listening to what Aquarius Maximus was talking about, the underdog, and the word underdog adds up to a number 7, and we're in the 7 years. So this is about us allowing the underdog to teach you, but there's a need for you to reach that dog star level within these next couple of resonant energies. Oh, my Cash App. Oh, you know what? I didn't even put the Cash App. I'm sorry. I wasn't even thinking about that. But it can be done without a doubt. Cash App is $ King Simon 3158, which that's very significant. Anytime you see me doing that, $ King Simon 3. But thank you very much for even reminding me, because I did shout out that. But you can do badges, but also 3158. And then PayPal. I like to make people, so people might be international. PayPal. .me/King Simon /King Simon. That is my PayPal and my. I guess you're enjoying. That's why you said that. I guess you're enjoying what I'm saying. I hope you're enjoying. I hope people are enjoying. If you're enjoying what I say, please share. Please share. Salute to me. Yeah, salute to all of us, man. We're gonna be. If you're enjoying what I say, please share. Please donate whatever you can. But again, my job as the numerovator, not just a numerologist. My job as the numerovator is to help you to get from your underdog status and to put in your mind and put in that DNA explosion so you can rise to your dog star God or the God star status. Because like I said, dog and God, same word. Same word. It's just that sometimes the dog represents the lower side of you and the God side represents the higher side of you. And some dogs as pets have shown more God than even human beings. Some dogs that we call the beasts of the world, they've shown more humility and love for you as a human than some humans out there, your own family members. And dog lovers will attest to that right now. Dog lovers will attest to that. People that has dog, whether it's little poodles or whether it's big ass dogs or Rottweilers they love all through their life, if you show them love, the dog energy, they will show you love. And that's why if we recognize each other as God, then God should not be wanting to kill God. You should never want to harm God if you recognize us as gods. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, thank you for putting that on, Evolve Shift. But that's the truth. Some dogs have shown more humanity than humans. That is the truth. But if the part of it is that we stop recognizing God in each other. That's why we said namaste. That's why some people bow in the dojo, not just to the professor, but to each other before we get into a fighting stance. It's about showing respect to the divinity and the energy within you in order for you to respect me so you won't hurt me in the dojo. So you won't hurt me in the dojo. God should never want to kill God. That's what I'm saying. A real God don't want to kill God because they see God in them as well as they see God in them. Vice versa. So God should never want to kill God. Being all honest. And thank you for the Cash App. Thank you for the Cash App. Those that are sending Cash App, my Cash App is up there. Thank you very much for the Cash App. Thank you for showing love. Those that are sending Cash App, my Cash App and my PayPal is up there. And these are just downloads. Like I said, this is based on writing, drawing, and words, and it's because of what Aquarius Maximus said on Brother Rich's show, who is also a number 7. She's born on the 16th, and then Rich is born on the 17th. You know what I'm saying? So the underdog energy is in the air. But it's telling you underdogs not to stay in that underdog energy. Go there when you have to, but always be willing to become the dog star or the God star. Be willing to become the dog star or the God star so the world can see you or your community can see you or your family, even if they don't believe in what you do. Even if they don't believe in what you do, you don't care what people believe. Only that you're doing the inner work and the outer work so you can bless the world on a global level or a local level or a family level. That's all, because underdog adds up to a number 9 in the Chaldean, and 9 is a number of humanitarian. At the end of the day, it's about becoming a humanitarian and serving the greater good from the 7 energy, which is the spiritual part of the underdog. And like I said, the dog star, which is the constellation that people recognize in the metaphysic world, that dog star out there represents the communication that we have to have with our inner self as well as the universe, but also finding healing and forgiveness. So yes, in order for you to rise from the underdog to the dog star, you have to forgive, let go, and grow. And I'm not telling you to go kiss your mama's ass or your daddy's ass or your sister, your brother, or somebody that helped hurt you in any way. I'm just saying you got to release it within yourself because forgiveness is really for you. This morning, I woke up in anger. And I don't know what I was dreaming, but I felt confined and I felt in anger in my dream. Then when I look at the day and waking up angry in a number 9 day is and plus I'm in a 9 personal day when I broke it all down to realize, because I always consult the numbers when something is going on in my vibration, in my cipher. And I forgot that we had a meeting at 9:00, and I'm glad Jackie Levine and Lloyd and them sent me the reminder. 9:00. Today is the 9th. I'm in a 9 personal day. Personal. I'm in a 9 personal day. So, and 9 on the negative is a number of arguments and anger and heated conversation. So I must have had a heated, angry conversation in my dreams. Because I woke up like shaking things off, like, what the hell's going on here? You know, what's happening? Why I feel confined? Move away, get away from me. You know what I'm saying? So I consult the numbers to just give me direction and help me to navigate better. So when I woke up out of my recorded on my recordings and my dream state or my astral state, and I started looking at the numbers and I started looking around the room because I'm trying to figure, because I'm traveling, so I'm visiting a friend, so I'm in a room and I'm like, you know, and I said, I had to get up, I started consulting. I said, when 9 shows up in your chart, you could either go down the negative road or you can go down the positive road. You can either go down or you could go up. You can spiral up or you can spiral down. And then because I know the interpretation of the number 9 and where it could lead, I decided to spiral up. And I apologize to myself for even allowing the anger to wake me up. And I apologize to the people in the house to let them know that, you know, if I come off with any anger, and a lot, you know, people know I smile a lot, but if I come off with any anger, please forgive me. I didn't mean to do that. And I was just making sure, although I didn't come off that way to them, you know, I just wanted to make sure so I can keep the vibration on a higher level. And that's what I'm about, keeping that vibration on a higher level. Because 9 is the number of anger and destruction. That's why the Chaldeans revered it so much, because when 9 appears, although they didn't have 9 in their numbers chart, but if 1 and 9 comes up in a chart, that's going to equal 9. So 9 appears, they had to make sure that there's nothing, that there's balance when it comes to the 9, that there's a humanitarian service and love when it comes to the 9, and it's not just war and destruction. Because if you study history, you'll find that most wars are started around that 9 frequency, whether in the Aries month, which is also connected to the 9 and war, or on a Tuesday, they might bomb drop or drop a bomb on here. Google up on how many bombs was dropped in the Aries sign, during the Aries sign, and the Aries is connected to the 9, or how many bombs or how many wars were started during on a Tuesday. Those are the warring numbers, and they're studying the frequencies. Oh man, I'm not new to this, family. I'm true to this. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. So on that note, family, remember tonight we'll be with Lloyd Strayhorn tonight at Numbers and You on Facebook, Numbers on You on YouTube. We'll be on Lloyd Strayhorn show tonight. And then on August the 13th, I have Shaniqua Lino. Shaniqua Lino will be on with me at 9:00, August the 13th. And then on August, Queen of Four is having her event from 11th to the 13th, also in Atlanta. So big up the Queen. And then August the 17th through the 18th and 19th and 20th, we're doing the Cosmic Consciousness retreat with Lloyd Strayhorn, Aquarius Maximus, Nina Diamond, Jackie Levine. And if you can't make it to the actual venue in New Orleans, then right now you have the offer to pay for the live stream. 2 days, you get a 2-day live stream for $299. That's a good price. And you will get the live stream forever, both days. You just have to show up both days. And if you don't show up both days, you still get it in your email to watch it over and over and over. Myself, Lloyd Strayhorn, Aquarius Maximus, Nina Diamond, and Jackie Levine as we break it down. So that's a good price for 2 days. It's 2 days, not 1 day. It's 2 days. Hell yes, it is. Oh, thank you very much, Evolve. Yeah, if you can't make it to New Orleans and come have fun with us directly and do the party with us, we're going to have a little mixer the night on the 17th, and then we're going to have one of the events, and then the next event, and then we're going to check out the quarters in New Orleans. then just come on the live stream and have fun. Let's pack that live stream and have some real fun. And we'll be broadcasting on Zoom and on YouTube, private links. And again, you'll get all the links for yourself to watch over. Matter of fact, everyone that participates also, that comes to the venue live, will also get the live stream for themselves to study, because we're going to be dropping a lot of information while having fun, because we love what we do. We love what we do. And in order for people to become from leaving the underdog state to become the dog star or the God star, you have to love what you do. All right. Love what you do. Because if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life, even if you're struggling with it, even if you feel you're failing with it. But if you love what you do and you're really willing to manipulate the energy and readjust yourself to become and go on a higher level, then do it. Do it till you're satisfied, whatever it is. You got to do it. Do it till the morning. Come and do it, baby. Do it till you're satisfied, whatever it is. You got to do it. Do it in the morning. I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied. And remember, family, Bob Proctor, born July the 5th, once said, be grateful for what you have, but never be satisfied. Be grateful for what you have, but never be satisfied where you are. Be grateful for where you are. Be grateful for everything. Every time you get up in the morning, every time you can go to your job, go to your business, whatever. As long as you're making money, be grateful, but never be satisfied. Satisfaction. Remember, curiosity. Keep on being curious. Curiosity killed the cat. Satisfaction brought them back. They never complete that. They always say curiosity killed the cat. Curiosity killed the cat. But they never say curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought him back to keep on going. They never say the final part. That's why cats have 9 lives. And that's a spiritual thing. That's a spiritual thing. Big up to my man, Blue Pill. What up, Blue Pillar? But remember that word underdog is a number 7 in the Pythagorean system. Deals with the inner working that you have to be in order for you to rise from the underdog to the dog star or the God star. And in the 9, it adds up to a number 9 in the Chaldean system, which says you have to put in that work. After you've done your spiritual work, you have to put in that work from the underdog perspective. Got from an underdog to the dog star. And then the word dog star adds up to a number 4, big up to my man Blue Pillar 44 in the Pythagorean system, and adds up to a number 6 in the Chaldean system. Dealing with communication and balance. Communicate clearly what you want from that universal order of things that resides within yourself and within all things. And then be willing to bring the balance. Be willing to bring the healing. If you want to become the dog star after you've done the work in the underdog, because that's underworld work, being an underdog. Got to understand those mathematics. And sometimes you got to go to gematria to get the other deeper side, or you got to go to Kabbalah, you got to go to, but I study them all so I can get, and I keep it simple so people can get it, so you can move forward. Thank you, Blue. Thank you, Blue. So people can move forward. That 44 that he talks about is very important. Every master number has its resonant energy. 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, 66, 77, 88, 99. All of them works. And most of y'all have them all in your charts and having it, but a lot of people are not looking for it. Most numerologists will negate when they see 55 and turn it into 10, turn it into a number 10 immediately instead of acknowledging the 55. Got to acknowledge the master numbers, and you got to acknowledge the master number potentials like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. I look for all of that when I do a consultation with you. I have to, because I'm the holistic numeration. And I call anything that 0 follows, like 10, 20, or 30, I call them master number potentials, because if you study history, everybody that held on to those 10, 20, and 30s have done some masterful stuff in this world. Danny Pina, The billionaire maker, born on the 10th. Rihanna, born on the 20th. So was KRS-One, born on the 20th. Mike Tyson, born on the 30th. Tiger Woods, born on the 30th. LeBron James, born on the 30th. Every time I see those zeros behind those numbers, zero adds protection and potential, infinite potential. And zero wasn't, the word zero may have came up in the under the India, and they popularized it in the accounting system, but zero existed in Africa, existed in Kemet, because you had to have a 0 point to build anything. You had to have a 0 point. They just didn't name it zero, didn't call it zero. It was called zero under the Arabs and the Indians. And it was the black Arabs, not the white Arabs. It was the melanated Arabs. So they want to give it. I'm reading European books on every European book that I've read on the zero, and I have a lot of them. They always equate it and give it to the India. No doubt. India has the word zero. They got that. Sifra is Arabic. That's the Sifra. That's when it comes from the darker melanated Arab. But there was a 0 point. That's why in certain ancient cultures, they had a point and a circle around it. That was the 0 point to build anything. And they call that God, or they call that Ra. We ain't understanding. They just don't understand. They never understood our sciences. And India's from us. India was expelled away from us. We started not to deal with India because of the illicit sex acts, according to certain history. Because India, before Europe, that black dot, exactly. Thank you very much, brother Bell. Brother Blue, the black dot. That's the 0 point. Then the circle around it, the black dot. But we, the indigenous people, left India alone majority of the time. According to the lessons of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and then proven in the bibliography of other scholars, that India separated, the dark-skinned Indians separated from the blacks, and we kind of expelled them because they was practicing illicit sexual acts and other crazy things they was doing. On the walls of India, they was having sex with dogs and animals first before you found it in Europe. Just telling you how this is working. And now they're finding out that some of these Europeans come from them. They don't come from us per se, they come from them. That's why they have the straight hair feature and the long nose feature. Some of them have blue eyes. They come from them. I'm just saying. Just saying. But it's there. The information is there, and I'm glad that it's there. And no disrespect to none of y'all that come from an India background or West Indian background. I come from a West Indian background. But I have Maroons and Arawak and Carib. I have all of that in me. And Africa. You gotta have Africa because that's maroon. So exactly. They said they're Aryan, didn't they? Yes, exactly. The Aryan, right. The Indus Valley, all the India, the Indo-Aryan, all of that kind of stuff. The Euro-Aryan. They had all of this stuff. They call themselves the Aryan. Man. That's why, again, salute to the late, great Baba Minister Clemson Brown, because he filmed all of those great people talking this stuff from a deeper perspective than me. So go to Tap Videos on YouTube and go watch all of his film. And he still have somebody that's still uploading stuff, even though he transitioned. Right now, they calming it down. And you can go to his description and send a donation for the family. Go there. Minister Clemson Brown was one of our greats that did it better than most. And he provided I sat with that brother numerous times. He didn't live too far from me in the house. He lived there, and I was calling him. I kept on calling him while I was in Georgia about a couple months ago. And then I think somebody said he was sick. He was sick again, but I already knew he was sick from before, but I didn't know he gotten worse because I was at his house. And I think Anthony T. Browder said he was sick, because I remember telling Anthony, and then Anthony was probably checking up on him. Anthony T. Browder said he was sick. And I knew he was getting older, and he transitioned. Tap Videos, Transatlantic Productions. That's the name of his company. And go to YouTube, Tap Videos, man. Tap videos. Go really support the channel. Dr. Ben is on there. I think he has with Francis Cresswell and Bobby Hemmett. He interviewed. That was one of his last interviews with Bobby Hemmett. Phil Valentine he has there, but also he has John Henry Clark, George G.M. James, Jackson, George G.M. Jackson, Barashango. He taped everybody. He even taped Suzar. People don't know that. He taped Suzar when she first came, when her video started dropping. He taped Suzar. He taped the trip to Africa with Dr. Ben. And Ashra Kwesi wasn't even doing it then. Ashra Kwesi was young. He was a 20-year-old. Oh man, y'all don't know. And I've been in that whole phrase since the 80s. When I left the Nation of Islam, the UAM is where I went. Lance Shabazz and all them people out there. And that was their personal videographer. Transatlantic Productions, my dear brother from Tap Videos. May he continue to do his work in that spirit. He was a minister, Minister Clemson Brown, and he transitioned in his critical cycle. Pay attention to your elders in the critical cycle. Pay attention. And we lost John Dinkins, Grand Master of Taekwondo, John Dinkins, who was always there to secure UAM and also to secure Ultimatic's back, to watch his back. I was always there in the crowd at a certain time just watching. I always sat on the outer seats because if you're going to run past me and try to do something, we going to do what we do. And so did he. He sat in the outer seats. Master John Dinkins, he just transitioned to his funerals today, actually, in New York. So legends are just in this Lion's Gate, the legend, the gates has been opened. And like I said yesterday, because of that 8 and 8 add up to 16, which is a 7, it's still open. The energy is still open. 16 deals with preparation and planning what you want to attract in your life. Because that 7 energy, that 8 plus 8 equals 16, that adds up to that 7, deals with the law of attraction, both spiritually and physically. And if you're willing to attract it, man, work on it. Go into your underdog layer, which is your shadow side, so you can bring about that God star and that dog star energy. All right? Family, I love you. I respect you. I'm traveling right now, and I just heard something about my mother, and so I might have to go to New York. She's supposed to go to the hospital, so she's 84. So I'm praying that she's all right. I'm just waiting. Told my sister to keep me updated. I'm not far. Put it like that. I'm closer to New York than I am to Georgia right now, but I'm not far. I'm visiting families and relatives and friends. But I'm not far. Just letting her know. I gotta let her know that I'm not far. If my mother, between y'all, my mother, she showed when I was last there, she showed me a will, and I didn't even want to see the will. I just, some of us don't even want to think about our mothers or fathers transitioning. So, but I know the gate is open. It can happen. The gate is open. So I just hope she's all right. That's all I can pray for. I hope that she's all right. And make sure you check on your elders, man. Check on your elders. Check on your elders. Check on your elders. Make sure they're all right. I call my mother every week on the weekends because she's a busy woman. I'm a busy man. But check on your elders, man. Check on your family, even if you haven't spoken to them in a long time, especially before their birthday or when they're in health cycles. If you want to find out the health cycle of a person that's older than you, that's in your family, this is how you check out if they're in a health cycle. Remember, all even cycles, including the number 9, are considered health cycles in numerology. So, and always the 52-day critical cycle. Minister Clemson Brown's birthday is August the 25th. We're in August the 9th now. He's in his 52-day critical cycle before his birthday. He transitioned in between that. Health cycles all add up to the even numbers, 2, 4, 6, 8. So let's say you're born. Let's say Clemson Brown's birthday. I'm gonna do it real time right here in front of y'all. You add the birthday that they're in plus the year. You add the month, the day, and the year that they're in. 2023, that's Clemson. 8816, put the 1 there. That's 5, 0, and that's 2. So that's 11, 12. Now, again, I just did it real time. 8 plus 25 plus 2023 adds up to 2056. 5 and 6 equals 11. 2 is 12, 13. He's in his four-year cycle, which is a health cycle, according to the science. So remember, all even numbers are health cycles. And then plus, he's in a health cycle and his critical cycle, his 52-day critical cycle before his birthday. Yes, it can happen in those cycles. Either you get worse in your illness, or you can transition in your illness. Or with the young people, you could get into arguments during your critical cycle. That's why I tell people, when people consult with me, I tell people, when you're in a critical cycle, stay away from arguments, stay away from, remove people, places, and things that no longer serve your highest and wisest purpose. That's what I tell people. When I see or notice that they're in a critical, get away from arguments. Even if they're your family member and you love your family member, get the F away from them. Even if you love them. And you know you want to maintain a certain peaceful mind so you don't go down to bad health, especially in your critical cycle, that's why we tell people, don't go into surgery when you're in a critical cycle. Wait until your birthday comes, because you'll be in a reputation and a high frequency cycle in your birthday. Now, certain things you can do in a critical cycle. Certain things you can do when you want to finish things and end things or sign certain contracts. We'll tell you to be mindful of when you're signing contracts, but when it comes to doing certain things that you have to end or complete, do it in your critical cycle before your birthday. Oh yeah. So, I'm not new to this. Not new to this. I'm true to this. So again, Minister Clemson Brown was in a health cycle and he's in his critical cycle. So he transitioned in a health cycle and he's in a critical cycle. So according to the mathematics. On Saturday, September 23rd from 2 to 8 p.m. at the Alkaline Oasis in Brooklyn, Baba Ashra Kwesi and Mira Kwesi returns to Brooklyn, New York after 4 years. Get your early bird tickets right now by texting 347-496-1022. Remember, they'll be teaching about the ancient history of Africa, Kemet, and also they're going to touch on Cleopatra. So get your tickets, 347-496-1022. It's the Numerological session with King Simon. Text your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And get my books on Amazon now.
Hi, I'm Lloyd Strayhorn, inviting you to heal with the numbers and cards in person at the Circle of Cosmic Consciousness Retreat in New Orleans. Go to stshealing.com to learn from the Masters, Aquarius Maximus, King Simon, Nina Diamond, Jazz Aphrodite, and myself. Don't forget, New Orleans, August 17th through the 20th at the Cosmic Consciousness Retreat. Register now at stshealing.com. That's stshealing.com. See you there.
Did you ever wonder if your birth date holds information about your destiny? Why you keep seeing the same number or several numbers? Welcome to Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated. I am your host, King Simon. Numbers are not here to control you, they're here to give you guidance.
It's time for you to be able to read the numbers. Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com, or Linktree at King Simon the Numerological. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numerological for Mental Stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. Go now.
Important to release past trauma, especially if it runs in your family. I had the opportunity the other day just to talk to my father, and he was telling me about past trauma between him and my mother, and tears welded up in my eyes, and come to realize that, these people have gone through their own stuff. Do not claim their own stuff. What they went through is not what I'm going through. But be willing to cleanse and remove and let go of not just your traumas that you feel you've gotten from your mother and father, but generational trauma that has been passed down from generation to generation. Let go and let God. When things go wrong, don't go with it.